All right, so, but what else is going on? Not much. What? Nothing comes to mind. In World War III news, we're on the other side now. I don't know if you've heard that. Zelensky was in the Oval Office to discuss the big turnaround that the country has done, where Trump says now he's the dictator.
Last thing, Mr. President. Yeah. Do you think your relationship with Donald Trump, President Trump, after today, can be salvaged?
Can be? Yes, of course, because it's relations more than two presidents. It's the historical relations, strong relations between our people. And that's why I always began with to thank your people, from our people. And this is the most important. And of course, thankful to President and of course to Congress, but first of all to your people. Your people helped to save our people. People, the first. Human rights, the first. This is very, very important. And we are thankful and sorry for this. I mean, we wanted very much to have only strong relations, and I very count that we will have it.
Yes, we saw what Zelensky did. The guy went immediately to Fox News. As this was going viral, the guy was on X replying to tweet to world leaders coming to support him. I don't get the point. Why can't people call this out? Like, this is not how you were supposed to behave. Zelensky had one mission: to sign the mineral deals with Trump administration. I believe that was the aim. That is what I thought. I didn't know that this would extend to something else. It is important. We look deep into. I have a couple of videos I'm going to show you so you can see exactly what is going on. The guy had an interview on Fox News. It's like he has suddenly realized his mistake. He had to apologize, though he was still struggling to be strong.
There's something I need to say, and I need to be blunt. So let me start by saying I love Europe. Truly love Europe. I love visiting Europe. I love Europeans. I have European friends. I respect the relationship we've had for a really long time. You Europeans do not respect Americans. You can protest and say, no, we love America. No, you don't. We know you look down on us. You think you're better than us. And in some ways you are. You know, you work 35 hours a week. You have longer vacations. You've got this magnificent culture. We get it. But any relationship in which one side doesn't respect the other can't last. This thing where Ukraine comes to the White House and acts like it can tell us what we should do, that's not what the relationship is. This thing where somehow we're on the hook, including for countries that are not in NATO, that was never the deal. Ukraine is not part of NATO. We were never obligated to protect Ukraine. Maybe that was something that Europe wants to do. Great, Europe should go protect Ukraine. We have no NATO agreement with Ukraine. And this thing where then Zelensky then goes and quotes all these other European leaders, they're with me, not with the United States. Great. Go work together. We have 100,000 Americans killed by the Chinese and Mexican fentanyl and methamphetamine mafias every year. Our kids are not learning to read. We have thousands of veterans with PTSD and are hurting. We have been at war in the Middle East for a quarter century. It's been 80 years since we bailed out Europe. You have your own militaries. You have your own nuclear weapons. I've been trying to be really indirect about this for years. I've been trying to be soft pedaling that you guys don't get it. Europeans do not get it. You guys think that this relationship is going to last forever. You think that because something's written down on a piece of paper, it's going to last forever. Americans have voted against this multiple times. It doesn't matter. This is not about what you think of Trump or like Trump. People on the left, on the right, they do not want to be in a nuclear war with Russia. How can we explain this to you? We do not want to continue to be in the Ukraine war. We want peace. Our natural inclination is to actually not get involved in conflicts in Europe and Asia. We didn't want to have to continue to intervene after World War II. I get it. But times have changed. We're ready to move on. And we bear a lot of responsibility for this. The United States bears a lot of responsibility for this. Our people, our administrations, our think tanks told Zelensky that and told the Europeans that, you know, we were loyal to that alliance, that we were going to stick with them. No, that's not, the American people are not on board with that. This is not, again.
Yes, if you are not understanding what this man is saying, there is something Zelensky did immediately after leaving the White House. He stayed on Twitter. What he was doing, replying to world leaders in Europe, struggling to pass the message like these people were with America, they are now with me. Everything he was retweeting about 100 within the space of 10 minutes. What I saw, until people had to screenshot what he was doing. That should clearly tell you something. I don't get it. Like he said, Ukraine is not part of NATO. It was not an obligation that America is supposed to do this. This is something that is going on. The way people are handling this, I didn't want to share my opinion on this because sometimes it doesn't even matter, but I just have to show you these clips.
CNN's Kaitlan Collins was in the Oval Office for this meeting. Kaitlin, it's hard to imagine a scenario in which this could have gone worse. This seems to be a dream come true for Vladimir Putin.
Well, it's not an overstatement for sure to say that it is one of the most astonishing moments that we have ever seen happen inside the Oval Office, between these world leaders essentially shouting at one another by the end of this, devolving into, at points, Trump and Vance berating Zelensky for saying that he was not being grateful enough for the aid that the United States has provided to Ukraine, and Zelensky arguing back that they do not understand Putin, essentially, that he will violate any agreement if the proper guarantees aren't in place. That seemed to particularly incense Trump, as he was saying, don't tell us what we're going to feel. Zelensky has been arguing that Putin will not stop with Ukraine, that he will go on to other Eastern European nations, including Poland, as he made the argument there. And Trump was essentially pushing back on that and telling Zelensky that he had no cards and that he needed to make a deal. And at one point, I think the most striking line from that could foreshadow what the rest of these talks are going to look like, what this press conference could look like if we still see these world leaders come out where they were supposed to sign that deal, is the president said to Zelensky, you either make a deal or we are out. Now that comes after 40 minutes before this exchange happened, where the president was talking about how he wasn't ready to make security guarantees yet. He said the United States would still send some weaponry to Ukraine. Questions going back and forth about how a deal would hold, how a minerals deal would be carried out. All of that was essentially wiped away by those last 10 minutes that were so incredibly heated there in the Oval Office.
Yes, there is one thing I hate with the mainstream media, the way they took this. It is crazy. Trump was polite initially. It is when Zelensky started going on, asking questions, going deep, showing how he hated Russian president. It got to a certain level, Trump could not take it. But the mainstream media took it differently. Just because they don't like Trump, they are painting a different image of what we saw. Everybody was watching. I have not seen CNN, MNBC, saying some positive things on what everything is against Trump. Oh, he's now bending the knee to Russia. Oh, Russia is now celebrating. That is all what I saw. It's crazy. I have not seen a single person among these people talking about peace or even mentioning peace. Even the tweet they put out, nobody is talking about peace. All they care to do is to say, oh, Trump is afraid. Oh, he's afraid of Russia. He's afraid. That is all I see. I don't get the point. These people don't want peace, right? Trump made it clear to Zelensky, if you don't want, or I will have a conversations with you when you are ready to talk about peace. That is all. Nothing more. But the mainstream media continue to push this like they have been doing every single time. Why can't we stay in a world where we don't have all these wars? We can't stay like, war-free. It's crazy. Like I said on one of my videos, this thing is being pushed to a level. Zelensky, before coming to the White House, had advice in different places like to act strong. It can't really work with Trump. Like, seriously.
Minerals are in the east of Ukraine, not far from the front lines and in areas that Russia has occupied.
Boy, did y'all just see the rumble in the Oval? Zelensky, Vance, and Trump? Boy, I ain't never seen nothing like that before. I mean, I wish it wouldn't have went down the way it did. But real talk, that's what it really looks like. I mean, everybody loves to see the nice handshakes and the great diplomacy at the end of the meeting. But that's the shit that goes down during the meeting. Honestly, let's think about it, man. Zelensky, the jig is up. I mean, I get your passion. I understand your pride. But like Trump, you ain't got no more cards to play. And the American people are not going to fund this war any longer.
If you are not guilty of anything, you will not panic. Yes, thank you guys for always been sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. If you see videos after this, please don't focus on that. That is just for the algorithm. You can end here.
So last night, Sean Hannity aired his sit-down with the world's most powerful man.
And a thug who is the president of the United States, U.S., it's everywhere.
There is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
Audits. A chance to see what happens when you take a business approach to the government.
Also, I got to say,
Don't you agree?
I totally agree.
Essential.
Early on, immediately.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
To her.
The EU does not treat the U.S. fairly on trade and that he has some big complaints. Is that true?
Right? And it doesn't mean that we should sit and pretend that it's suddenly okay, that this new presidency is just going to keep on keeping on. That is not the case. And
Awful things have happened. And sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have.
Future president and his gag are
Quality and policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning. And, I flew here last night. I was on a plane.
You getting water to areas that need...
He's been trained his whole life to do.
What do we do?
Right now you're looking...
History, remember it.
As a country about James.
And then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know.
Jordan.
Josh Green, the governor.
Watch the news or talk.
Now, look, I have a lot of...
The Democratic Party has about everything.
The next department that appears to be on the chopping block is the Department of Education. Just earlier today...
Thank you. Hey, now speaking of church, can I...
In common, they're all terrified of Ronan Farrow.
Is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires.
On Team Chiefs. Literally right next to us was Taylor Swift. Those are boobs
In the world.
The last time he was...
But I think in